I haven't mentioned it on this channel before, but I'm a very big fan of movies. Especially this year, I went from only watching movies occasionally to watching them multiple times a week. There's so many that I want to talk about, and I thought a good place to start is with a movie that, although not for positive reasons, has been on my mind lately. That being Cure, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. I was so excited to watch Cure. Not only did it seem like the perfect thing for me, being a big fan of psychological thrillers, but it receiving seemingly universal praise from everyone I know who's watched it, and I couldn't have been more disappointed by it. Especially rewatching it took it from an underwhelming movie to one that I genuinely dislike. I hope that watching this video will help you understand why I feel this way. Cure follows a detective named Takabe as he investigates a mysterious series of murders with seemingly no connection, other than the same symbol being carved into the necks of the victims. The movie starts out as a mostly normal murder mystery, but gradually turns into a psychological horror that gives very little answers. One of the most common praises I see for Cure is how terrifying people find it. And although what people find scary is subjective, personally, I don't think it's scary at all. Although it's decently shot and was kind of creepy on my first watch when I didn't really know what was going on, especially on rewatch, never did make me feel disturbed, scared, or any strong emotion with its atmosphere. It just felt really dull to me. It felt like I was trying to have some uncanny moments with violent imagery being shown suddenly and casually, but it just led to these scenes feeling a bit mundane and didn't really affect me that much. There is no character in Cure that I found likable, interesting, or had any strong emotional response to. Something that especially stood out to me on rewatch was how underwritten Takabe is. He doesn't really have a personality besides being obsessed with his work, specifically looking for answers to the mysterious series of murders. The only other developments for his character are him showing frustration towards his wife and him slowly losing his mind, both of which felt extremely rushed to me. Mamiya also is such a weak antagonist. Him constantly asking the same questions is not creepy and just irritating. It makes him feel like an annoyance rather than a genuinely intimidating presence. This combined with him being pretty much a blank slate makes him such a boring character. Cure's biggest theme it touches on is the unknowable nature of evil. So I understand why the movie chose to left certain things ambiguous, but I don't think that ambiguity was handled well. Cure feels like it has elements of both a standard murder mystery and an abstract psychological thriller, but isn't willing to fully commit to either one. It doesn't work as a normal story since it leaves too much unanswered, but it also doesn't work as something more abstract because it reveals just enough information that it no longer becomes scary. This perfectly shows in the scenes with Mamiya hypnotizing people into committing murder. They reveal just a little bit too much about him to the point that even if we don't know everything about him, he lacks the element of existential horror that I feel the movie is trying to go for. The ambiguous nature of the plot frustrated me even more on rewatch. I understand the point of it and I'm fine with ambiguity if it makes a story more interesting. But when close to nothing else in the movie is done well, it just makes for a needlessly vague movie where other people's interpretations are more interesting than the movie itself. There are worse movies I've seen than Cure, but it's probably my least favorite due to how disappointing and boring I find it. It's rare for me to watch such a hyped up piece of media and genuinely struggle to understand any of the praise it gets. It's something that I really wanted to like and ended up feeling genuinely annoyed with it. Maybe I'll like other works of Kiyoshi Kurosawa more. I heard Pulse especially is really good, but after watching one of his more popular movies, I personally don't get the hype he gets as a director. But whether you agreed with me or not, please let me know what you thought in the comments. Part of me making this video is how little I see this movie discussed, so I would like to hear other people's thoughts on it and if there was anything I missed. I'm also planning on making more movie reviews very soon, so if you'd be interested in seeing more of those, subscribing would be very appreciated. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.